Yeah, you should.
Yep.
All righty, thank you. All right.
I think the camera's still on you, so I think you
I'll
have
do
to start.
it. It's cool. All righty. Welcome to Maybe We're Projecting, Omaha's movie talk show. My name's Genevieve Radosti, and I am here today with...
Tom Noblock
Joshua LeBeauer.
and Patrick White.
Why do I always say my name weird like that? Go ahead.
It's fun. As soon as the camera's on, it's like, what are words? And you talk like a David Lynch movie.
It's a real David Lynch movie.
It's a real David Lynch movie. We're never going to get away from
Yeah.
it.
You guys, have you explained that at all?
No.
No, it's just
We're
going to
just
be
gonna
in the
roll with it.
ether. Yeah.
We're just doing it.
We just want people to know that if David Lynch made a surreal movie for once.
It would be The Keeper by Osgood Perkins, of course.
Which we're not reviewing this week.
Yeah.
We're not. So what do we want to talk about this week? There have been some interesting movies and TV on streaming lately.
It's true.
A lot of thrillers, a lot of conspiracy-minded thrillers, which we mentioned on the last episode. But let's get into it.
I have a real conspiracy I'd like to start out,
Uh-oh.
Okay.
which is Netflix.
Oh.
Which
Ew.
Netflix, I'm usually very, very, very critical of Netflix when it comes to their documentaries and true crime documentaries specifically. But I've been shocked by a couple films I've seen lately. Although I will start with the actual conspiracy real quick. So there's a film about Eileen Wuornos that they just released called Eileen,
Yeah.
Queen of the Serial Killers.
Terrible title.
Terrible title. But when the movie started, it got to the title card and it just said Eileen. And then I was like, oh, is this another like
Like The Irishman?
The Irishman? Like, because do you know this story?
No, please tell
Okay,
me.
so the film is called I Heard You Paint Houses, which is also the book that it's based on is named that.
At least that's what the title card says at the
Yeah.
beginning. It doesn't actually say The Irishman.
Yeah.
Oh, The
but
Irishman
Netflix
is called-
changed
okay,
it.
that's right.
They wanted to change it to The Irishman because they thought that this title was too crazy. But
Uh-huh.
Martin Scorsese left the title card, I Heard You Paint Houses. So that's what the film is called. And so I was wondering if that's the same thing that happened with Eileen.
I would watch I Heard You Paint Houses a million times over The Irishman.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting. Go
Yeah.
on.
So anyway, first of all, I was shocked by that film because it's a true crime film that I just turned on thinking it was just going to be mindless. And by the end of it, me and my wife were both crying. And it's so good. But also The Perfect Neighbor, which I know a lot of people are talking about. And I was shocked by how much I liked this film. It is a documentary all about this murder that happened in Florida, and this woman, she murdered her neighbor. And there was a lot of talk about her trying to use stand your ground laws. And it was shortly after the Trayvon Martin incident, murder happened.
Yeah.
And she actually heard about that and decided to use that as her defense
Yeah.
against murdering her neighbor. She's a white woman, and her neighbor was, a black woman who her kids would play in the field next to this woman's apartment. And anyway, the whole film is caught on the body cams that the police are wearing during years of calls from this woman
Yeah.
about her neighbor's kids over and over again over years. And you get the whole arc of the story just through body cam footage. And it's really good.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I loved it, and it was so tragic on so many levels. And one level is that those kids are living, this was like in 2023, I believe, and they were living the kind of summers, the kind of outdoor play that people romanticize now. Like, oh, kids need to get out there and play and have fun. And that's what those kids were doing. But this woman has something wrong with her brain to begin with. I don't know what, but a screw's loose. But also she's incredibly racist. And so she's constantly calling the cops and saying they're doing this, they're doing that, they're being too loud and just being crazy over there. And it really goes to show, I think a lot of times people play racism off as like, oh, that's just an opinion, that's just a belief. But this documentary really shows how those opinions and those beliefs become action in the worst way. And so it was just devastating to see something so idyllic as these children playing and this woman taking umbrage with it. And it's just so upsetting. I think
Yeah.
anybody watching it is just going to be upset for a while.
It's a very
about
anger-inducing film, and it's so frustrating. And you kind of know this woman, you've seen her at the grocery store yelling at a cashier for,
And she doesn't
and,
say why she's yelling, but you can kind of suss
Yeah.
it out. Like, there's
like,
something else going on
I
here.
worked in grocery stores for years, and I've seen these people over and over again, and I'm always like curious, like, how do they function?
Well, as we see, they don't very well.
yeah,
They're calling the cops every 5 minutes. Yeah.
Exactly. To the point where I think one of the interesting things too is they got, the police didn't want to turn over all this footage to the filmmakers, but they, did
A request.
a
the written
request,
yeah.
and they essentially got it all, but then they just had none of it was like in order by date or anything like that. So they just got hundreds of hours of footage from all of these calls and stuff. And at first they were going to make a traditional documentary where they were interviewing people and blah, blah, blah. And as they were culling the footage and putting in, all the metadata and organizing it and figuring out what they had, they realized that the whole story was just in this footage.
Yeah.
And it's, from a filmmaking standpoint, it's fascinating in that respect. And for me, it was just shocking that Netflix actually put in something that's so formally interesting. And also, it's, also very emotional.
Yeah.
So
100%. And it really goes to show that people will respond to these things that are made differently and that intrigue them. And so to just give stuff like that a chance, I suppose. But also,
I also assume it'll be nominated for awards. And
oh, yeah.
I assume it'll be that's like the reason why I think they saw that this will probably.
What was the distribution process? Did Netflix buy it from
They
a
got bought
festival?
at Sundance, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it premiered this year and it's already on Netflix. So that was a pretty good road to distribution, I should say, for the filmmaker at least.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've seen people talking about it everywhere. One critique I saw, someone said, "Oh, this is too raw," because you see the aftermath of this crime and it's very emotional. And they're like, "Well, isn't that kind of exploitative?" But I heard that the mother of the victim actually said, "No, show it all." A la Mamie Till with Emmett Till. Show them what happens when, it hurts my heart. Okay.
Well, for every one of those Netflix releases, they also release about 15 movies like The Woman in Cabin 10, which I did watch. Which was, it's kind of an Agatha Christie sort of thing. It stars Keira Knightley as this reporter who gets invited onto this luxury yacht of very rich people. And then she uncovers a conspiracy and everybody seems to tell her that she's crazy for noticing this woman who should not be in there, and there's no record of being, on the yacht. And so she's trying to figure out who this is, and it turns into this bigger conspiracy. And it's fine. It's a functional movie. What I will say is, it was filmed in Norway, and as a freak about Norway, I've discovered that I really don't mind watching a bad movie if I get to look at Norway. The plot does its inevitable, functional, whatever, stupid climax. I'm looking at these fjords, and it's really nice. And I don't know that I need a whole lot more than that. So more movies should film in Norway, is my takeaway.
One of my favorite current pop stars is Norwegian. So I just love anytime she makes a music video and I get to look at Norway.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful country.
Sigrid is her name. New album, it's great.
Nice.
But I don't know. I kind of want to watch it because I kind of like all those movies, like The Girl in the Train and the.
It's like those, yeah.
And The Woman in the Window.
It's
and
an easy watch. It's kind of like I'll turn on a Columbo episode sometimes. It's like I don't really want to think too much about it. I know what I'm getting into. There's no one as fun as Peter Falk in Woman in Cabin 10.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's all right.
Is The Woman in the Window the spoof one with Kirsten?
That's like
Kristen
the
Wiig?
woman in the window across the yard.
Yeah.
It's a little more
I love that.
convoluted.
It was such a weird spoof because it was it worked on the level of one of those films.
Right.
But also it was really absurd and funny.
Yeah.
And it knew it was absurd and funny. Bonkers. Anyway.
That's also
I
on
digress.
Netflix, I think.
Yeah, I know. I don't have a Netflix account right now, so.
A funny observation I've made, watching the previous episode you guys just shot and then this one, the word conspiracy has come up on multiple occasions.
It's true. I think that's.
So you guys are really locked into this conspiracy world of films right now.
Every human is locked into a cycle of many conspiracies that are real.
Very true. Very true.
It's very true. There's a lot of real ones going on right now, and then there's also the looking at the ones that are distracting people that are completely false. And I think that we're just inundated with conspiracy right now. And I think that it's showing in the films.
Yeah,
It's showing in
yeah,
the
right.
work.
That's what I was gonna say. We have a crisis of trust. It's hard to know what's real, what's not real. Who can you turn to for information? So why wouldn't we have kind of a boom of conspiracies in our content?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it is interesting though, just the amount of conspiracy films that
Take a
are
shot
out
every
there.
time.
Yeah,
You want to make a case that there aren't, like, we're overdoing it. There's not actually conspiracy.
no,
Things are going great.
no. I'm not going to do that.
I will
We're not
say,
going that far.
I was watching this like YouTube video because I'm thinking about buying a new camera, so I was watching a couple of reviews, and I oftentimes hate watching these reviews on cameras and stuff, but I was just curious just about some of how this looked, and the guy starts like, showing going on a travel, doing a travel log with this camera,
Right.
and he like, is doing his travel log, and it's like very documentary, and then all of a sudden there's a shot, of the plane in the air, and then whenever the plane's landing there's a shot under the plane, and it was so clearly AI, and then all of a sudden he breaks out into this video is sponsored by this AI company. If you didn't notice, this shot is AI. I'm like, well, yeah, of course it is. How do you think we thought you got the camera out the window? But it's just like even little things like that. All these like AI images are popping up.
Right.
Did you see Paul Schrader said he would love to work with AI actors? That he thinks that he's got a couple scripts that are done. He thinks in a couple of years maybe AI can just make it for him.
Perfect. Yeah.
Someone needs to take away his login info. Like, no, Paul, go to
Yeah.
bed.
To me, that's like somebody who's not a filmmaker. They're just a writer.
I would love to watch his continued Man in a Room quadrilogy, whatever he's at, quintet now. But it's just AI and really awkward.
It's a shame. I mean, do you think like Paul Schrader could have made First Reformed with AI? I mean,
No.
Would he have?
I'm just.
Well,
I don't
think
know.
about how great Ethan Hawke is in that movie.
I know
Amazing.
Ethan Hawke
Yeah,
is so
absolutely.
incredible. An AI actor will never be able to do that. Have you seen
I
those?
think he would have made Master Gardener with it, though.
That's what, the bad ones. I wouldn't mind watching him try, and just for more.
At least it'd be like interesting.
Yeah.
like canyons, maybe.
Yeah,
I love the canyons.
I love the canyons too, but AI could have done that film.
Yeah, maybe so. But they
AI
wouldn't
Master
have been able to
Gardener.
shot in Amoeba Records at the old location.
AI Master Gardener is perfect. I think.
That would be perfect. Oh no, I can't believe I'm defending that.
Is it a trilogy? Is that what it is right now, or a
Man in the
quadrilogy?
Room. So let's see. There's First Reformed, Master Gardener, Card
Card
Counter,
Counter.
Counter.
and I don't think we've
He
gotten anything.
well, Canada did not count. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
But then he finished filming another one that I think is considered the fourth one. I forget what that's called. But,
No, I don't.
Is there
Yeah,
something to say
Taxi
for
Driver and Hardcore and
Yeah, it's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
if he does make a bad AI film? Would that be good for like, hey, don't do this?
Don't do what
On the
Paul
flip
Schrader
side,
did.
It's a dangerous
Sam
game.
Altman's like, look how great our tech is. There's this new Paul Schrader movie. Watch this. Mimic it.
that. That would be absurd.
Oh Lord. Mountainhead. Too real. That was too real of a movie.
On the subject of AI, have you noticed? Well, if you're on YouTube frequently, AI ads just nonstop. Like it's crazy.
especially for gambling.
You know, there is a
Well, that
little
might just
bit of
be your
hope, though, is that all these kids, like my older son, who's a little obsessed with YouTube, is their brains are kind of getting trained to spot it in a way.
Oh, okay. That's
Is
good.
that he'll be like, oh, it's AI. Mom hates AI. Next video, if I'm in the room, I'm sure if I'm not there, he's like, ha ha ha, I'm watching AI.
Oh, it's real. Skip.
But he recognizes it, and a lot of kids are starting to use it as a synonym to fake. Like,
That's
that's
great.
that's
Oh,
AI.
yeah, that's great.
AI. So I think
You're being so AI right now.
So I think in some ways, even though it's making content that they like, I think we need to give the general audience and the younger people kind of some credit that they're able to figure it out pretty quick. Like this is baloney. I think maybe it's the older generations we need to worry a little bit more about who haven't grown up with this and are like, no, that's 100% real.
So in 40 to 50 years, it'll work out.
We'll get there eventually, hopefully. Let's see. There's some more streaming stuff to talk about that isn't a conspiracy, but it is a thriller. I think. Did you watch Hand That Rocks the Cradle? Yes. Did you watch Hand That Rocks the Cradle? Well, let me tell you, you didn't miss a ton.
Okay, great.
It's directed by the same woman who did Huesera the Bone Woman, which was a really good horror movie, a pregnancy horror movie. And Hand That Rocks the Cradle is not that. So I was a little disappointed, not in her, but just that this is the follow-up to a good movie.
You can be disappointed in her. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the direction of that movie is nothing all that exciting in
Right.
general.
That's true. But Hand That Rocks the Cradle, it's a remake. You guys watch the original? Okay,
Yes,
I haven't seen
big
the
fan of the
original.
original. Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I grew up. My mom loved that movie for some reason.
Interesting.
It's a fun, trashy 90s thriller. Or was it even 90s or was it
So I think
late
it's
80s?
90s.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think like I remember growing up with like that movie, Single White Female, and Sleeping with the Enemy, and I used to
Yeah.
get all those movies confused in my head as a kid.
All kind of the same tone.
Yeah. But I like all those movies still.
So where did this one go wrong, do you think, in the adaptation process?
I think that the nature of the revenge in the original is a lot more potent, and you sort of, I don't know if you empathize with the woman so much, but she is more of a victim in a way that leads to a traditional revenge narrative that's understandable. Whereas in the new one, it's kind of ambiguous, and the twist is not really interesting at all. I had written about it. What I thought was interesting is it's a movie that seems very much stuck in this moment of sort of signifiers of woke alongside Trump saying woke is donezo, right? We're done with woke. Woke is dead. And yet you've got this character who, the Mary Elizabeth Winstead character, is the mom who hires the nanny, the evil nanny. Broadly, that's the plot. And the nanny is this sort of like evil, gay signifier of these things that she's suppressing as she tries to have a more sort of like heteronormative, almost conservative world behind her nice...
The Mary Elizabeth Winstead character.
Yes.
Yes, yep.
And then Maika Monroe is like all the things that are sort of like liberal and chaotic that she's like suppressed that are being drawn out.
One of those things where it's like, I am you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it ends with Velvet Underground, I'm your mirror, I'll be your mirror.
Yeah.
Right? So that was the part that I thought there's something interesting there about once you sort of get successful enough, you'd sort of drop all the radical elements of pushing the culture back. And then she's this sort of like demon of all of that stuff. That didn't really go anywhere very interesting.
I was about to say, when you say it like that, that sounds very interesting. Whereas when I was watching it, I was like, this is like kind of bizarrely homophobic. What is this?
Yes. Well, for her to be bi, and that sort of being a normal part of the plot, but then she's horrified that Maika Monroe would have a girlfriend in her room or something. Sort of like that seems like a critique, right? Because why is that so disturbing to her?
It didn't feel fleshed out enough that it was obvious for a casual viewer like me. I'm not even a casual viewer, and it wasn't obvious to me. I was just kind of like, why are you so horrified by this gay woman? I'm very confused.
Yeah, possibly it is just misogynistic and nobody thought about it
So
that
was
much.
this a NIMBY thriller?
Yes, I think well, and in particular, so in the original, the white picket fence is, you've got Chekhov's white picket fence that sort of solves everything. But it's, like even that has kind of this critique of the guy they have working in the house who becomes the scapegoat. In this one, you've got the gate. So like the gated community, and then she's so mad about the stop sign that's not there. Like, I've got my nice perfect house. I can't believe people drive fast near my house.
Yeah.
And then that becomes, of course, again, like Chekhov's missing stop sign or whatever.
Stop sign.
But yeah, like there is sort of a class critique in there, right? This woman who feels so insulated that she doesn't need the problems of society anymore. That used to be a part of her personality, and then Maika comes in and sort of erodes all of that. But again, I might just be reading too much. It might have been that nobody else thought that much about it. It's just like, yeah, she's gay and evil. And
Yeah, but
that's it.
they clearly did, because they were trying to separate it from, like, I think they were trying to avoid the old tropes of like the evil, single woman who
has her cake and eats it too.
Yeah, well, she wants to have like this person's life, and she's just evil, and comes in, and I think they were trying to avoid that, and then in turn they ended up, which is what neoliberalism does a lot. They
we talk about movies, I promise.
Yeah.
Conspiracy of neoliberalism.
Well, that's what it is. I think to me, this like embodies neoliberalism, because it's like in trying to critique something that's wrong with like cinema and try to make something that's more representative, I guess, and trying to find more of the gray area, they actually make something that's offensive in a different way. And so they're not really fixing the problem, because they're not like actually trying to change the structural they're not challenging the core structures that are responsible for a lot of the symptoms, which
I don't know. Is it offensive though, or is it actually?
I wouldn't say offensive.
It's embodying this critique to some extent, right?
Yeah.
In the way that Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character.
As soon as I said offensive, I was like, this isn't really the word I'm looking for.
It's maybe not coherent enough to be offensive or a critique.
It's not coherent.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And also a problem I had with it is that the first half, Maika Monroe seems evil. She
Yes.
seems creepy. And it's just like, why would you hire that as your, not even just your babysitter, but your nanny? So right off the bat, I had no buy-in. Because it was just like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I thought the second half was entertaining just because I have that natural, I want to see what happens next, you know, because it gets really out of hand.
And it telegraphed where it was going to end.
Yeah.
So, like, every 5 minutes, they're like, remember this stop sign that's not here and the cars go really fast right outside the house?
Right.
Like, yeah, no, I remember. I can see where this is probably going to end.
I will say some of the things that worked for me though are the performances. I think Micah Monroe and I think Mary Elizabeth Winstead are both great in the roles. I just wish that the story was more coherent. And I also think that some of the makeup work for some of the gore was pretty great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to spoil anything, but yeah, there's,
I'm just going to say that.
yeah.
Like there's some pretty shocking imagery that I think worked pretty well.
Patrick, what have you been watching?
Yeah, what's up?
I have seen Tron Ares.
Oh,
I
okay.
have seen Black Phone 2.
Me too.
I saw Begonia as well.
Well,
Yeah.
good thing we haven't talked about that
Yeah,
one yet.
no kidding, right?
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did. But
Oh,
I want to
Like-
hear about Black Phone 2 because
Okay, yeah, let's talk
I
Black Phone
liked the
2.
first movie, but I'm curious.
I love
to
the
hear
first
about the second
movie.
one.
Me too. I enjoy it a lot.
To me, it didn't work for me, honestly, the Black Phone 2. It was going in more of a Nightmare on Elm Street direction, and I actually thought the original movie was more like Halloween-esque with a little bit of Nightmare on Elm Street, and it just was tighter. The second one just went in these very odd directions. The script wasn't as well written. Some of the dialogue was cheesy, and it was both like trying to be really ethereal and scary at times, but then like, oh look, there's Ethan Hawke as
Ice
the grabber
skating?
ice skating.
The
So it's
figure
like,
skater grabber.
yeah. And it's been fun because like after watching that, then I watched a few Nightmare on Elm Street films, and it's like, okay, I see what they were trying to do, but I think that they just did it better with the Nightmare films, because I think they were just trying to have their cake and eat it too when it came to the dramatic horror opposite the silliness, and it just did not create a cohesive, great movie in my
tough to do
opinion.
campy well.
Yeah.
There were
exactly.
some
Tough to do
moments
campy
that
when you're
were
trying
good.
to do campy.
Yeah. Because there were moments that were good, but like for instance, the girl who in the first movie she also had a sailor's mouth, and they brought that back, and they really were pushing it, and it was just like, but it's not really funny anymore, and I can't tell you why, but
My opinion on that is I think it's because they're not kids anymore. They're just teenagers.
they're just
So who
teenagers
are
and
like,
teenagers cuss.
calm down. Like, it's funny when kids cuss. It's not funny
Yeah.
when teenagers cuss necessarily.
See,
Like,
this is when you want to go funny and have like the kid be like, just like me in high school discovering evangelicalism and trying to find all the fun words to,
Well, there's
to
that
not
too.
cuss.
that is, it
Oh, yeah.
definitely has religious elements
I
to
think
it.
it's so hot that you talk to Jesus. Like, you know, there's some great parts of Black
Yeah,
Phone too, but I
certainly.
think like the first one, I almost felt like there was actually a message in that one, and it was kind of
Yeah.
about the different evils that are inflicted on children, you know, and how there's kind of a spectrum of that
Yes, that's
with
true.
the abusive
the
dad.
nature of abuse.
And
yeah.
then the literal grabber who's going to grab you off the street and kill you, and how those are different things, but they're kind of on the same spectrum of how we mistreat our children as a society. And so I thought that was really interesting. And then you go to 2, which is just throw it all at the wall and see what sticks, you know?
Well, and prior to seeing the movie, we were kind of like speculating, my friends and I, after watching the trailer, like, okay, is this going to expand the mythology to the point that it's just too over the top, it's too silly? And sure enough, I think that's exactly what it did. It was like, tell a different story. Like, honestly, take what John Carpenter intended to do with Halloween and
Right.
tell a different Black Phone story.
Involving the Black Phone instead of
not
continuing
necessarily
this one.
the grabber. But the
Yeah.
thing is, like, well, you want to have your iconic villain, and you want to have a franchise built around that iconic villain. So.
And they're so ready for a franchise. They definitely made that pretty clear. Like, oh, could still come back. So, you know, if you're ready to not take it too seriously, it might be a fun time
For sure.
because it's kind of goofy.
Yep.
But if you want more of what they originally did, you're not going to get that.
Oh, can I tell you a funny story about
Yes.
my experience? So within the first like 5 to 10 minutes, I could tell there was a group of teenagers who are going to be trouble, like laughing at inopportune moments, whispering here and there. I'm like, nope. It's been a little bit since I've been in a movie theater, so I am going to enjoy my experience. I get up, I go up to them, and I manage a movie theater right now. So I was like, I'm the manager of this movie theater. I'm just trying to enjoy this movie. Please stay quiet. You're affecting the guest experience, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they're immediately quiet. So respect to them. Really appreciate it. Then what happens is I sit down and the movie continues and I realize, oh boy, this is not going well. I do not like this movie. I'd really like to talk to my friends about it. So there was a bit of an ironic moment for me
You're
where
the manager. You don't have to follow the rules.
I can just
Rules
be a
for thee,
complete
not for me.
hypocrite.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then somebody else comes up to me and they tell me they're going to tell the manager and the cycle continues.
I would have loved it if you were obnoxious as a viewer and those kids came over and they're like, hey, can you be quiet, please? We're trying to enjoy the movie.
Do we need to call the manager?
We're really scared of this grabber guy, and you're over here talking.
I feel like that would be a don't steal this. I think this would be a great short.
You bring up an interesting thing, though, about a certain type of movie that doesn't really work, that you can still have fun with when you let go of the reverence that you give to a movie that's good.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I struggled with that with Black Phone 2. And then I think it was just a few days later, it was Tron Ares. And I was like, okay, here we go again. I like Tron and I like Tron Legacy, and this ain't working for me.
Kids, why don't you make some jokes so I'm entertained?
All right, we have like 45 seconds.
Okay,
So
Josh.
real
Sorry.
quick,
Real quick.
who thinks that Jared Leto's career headlining blockbusters is finally over?
No, I don't think it is, unfortunately.
It should have been a long time ago, so I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really fails anymore. You can always fail upward.
Yeah, well,
There you have it.
That's
he,
the,
he runs a,
Conspiracy.
doesn't he have a cult? I think he's good.
there we go. It all ties back.
Wonderful. Thank you for tuning in to Maybe We're Projecting, and we'll see you next time. Hopefully, maybe with fewer conspiracy theories, but we'll see.
More.
More. Thank
Amen.
you.